This is a paid program. JJ Publicidad, EMR, and its owners and associates take no responsibility for the opinions or statements made by the talk show host or their guest.
Ang buhay, buhay, buhay sa Amerika. Mabubuhay ka sa Amerika kahit mahirap ka ha. Basta't kasama mo, kababayan mo, maligaya ka na ito sa Amerika. Sa buhay-buhay sa Amerika.
Uy mga kababayan, kapuso at kapamilya, oras na para magsama-sama tayo para sa isang oras na kwentuhan na magbibigay ng aral at inspirasyon. Dito lang sa ating programang Buhay sa Amerika ni Rhea Luz.
Hola, magandang hapon mga kababayan. Good evening everybody. This is Rhea Luz. And we are live at Entre Mujeres Radio for our Women's Month episode. And this episode, we will be showing you about women's health and wellness. It's a very important topic for women, especially it took me a lot of courage to bring this episode. As you know, I just recently had my hysterectomy after 8 years of being a breast cancer survivor. And this is not an easy topic for me to bring. That's why I have requested this amazing guest with me who also have experienced the same. I would go first from the one who are very close to me, this very outstanding parents of 2023, and truly not only their fashion icon, but everyone in our community have so much respect for these amazing leaders. I have with me Tita Debbie Villamor. Basically,
that's right.
As I said, Bernie, because of your strength and the courage, I gained the courage to share my experience as well. And as we are celebrating the International Women's Month, this is a celebration of our womanhood. And it's such an amazing time that we live in this age and we are born as women. We have so much thing to be grateful for, but also being a woman has so much responsibility. Right, Tita Debbie, Tita Amy, and
yes, correct. Yes.
That's right.
Bernie. So
Yes, for our friends who are tuning in, we just want to remind you, share, like, and comment, and tune in, stand by, share all your questions, and we will try to give the best answer we could give. But just to tell you, we're telling about women's health. We are not doctors. We are not physicians. These are just based on our experience. It's not a professional advice. This is just based on our history with our medical issues.
thank you so much, Bernie, for reminding our audience on that. And that's why you should like and subscribe to Buhay sa Amerika, because these amazing women had been a great part of Buhay sa Amerika. We're turning almost 7 years now. And your support by liking Buhay sa Amerika and Entre Mujeres Radio, we can continue to bring great guests. From our last time, we have Tita Nicholas Lewis.
Oh, yes,
Tita
yes.
Loida Nicholas Lewis.
Correct.
Who is the most influential woman in America.
Correct.
From Filipino community. So, and now I have Tita Debbie and Tita Amy and Miss Doc and our engineer Bernie Bercilia Pineda. So we'll continue to bring you great resource people in the community. So Tita, let's talk about womanhood. What is so special, do you think, that we can tell people about us as women? Tita Amy?
What do you want me to say?
How would you define womanhood? What are you grateful being a woman?
It's a God-given gift. And of course, as a woman, you really have to bear children. You have to take care of your children. You get into being from puberty. You become a woman, and of course you have to come up with resources, and also you also have to understand what womanhood is being, which we try to inculcate in our children and our grandchildren. That it's a difficult task, but we can live onto it, and we can be happy in spite of all the sickness and in spite of all the things that we need to do as a mother.
Yes.
So I think as women, we should be also an inspiration for both our children and our grandchildren, so that as role models, they can live up to be like us. Being a woman is always a gift,
Yes.
and that's what I think about it.
Thank you,
very
Tita.
much.
Parang Miss Universe yung tanong ko kay Tita. Parang panalo na.
Thank you.
Tita Amy.
Okay, you know what? I have a very short definition of women. Women is a female with reproductive system, which means to say we have ovaries, we have fallopian tubes, we have uterus, and we have a breast
Cervix
and
too.
and cervix.
Tahanan, because a major role ng woman is to really develop this person, your child, of who God wants this person to be. So I think it's very important role. It's to have a mother who can guide. Kagaya sabi ni Tita Debbie, as from even your own grandkids, you can pass on your legacy to them.
Yes, it's so true. And definitely, it's such a beautiful definition. And having the womb and the breast and all the reproductive system of a woman is really makes us so special, as you all mentioned, not only in the society, but for the procreation and continuity of humanity. That's why
Amen.
God has
That's
given
right.
this so much responsibility to women. And talking about women, I have to mention also, our sponsor for today is the Women's Federation, member of the Women's Federation for World Peace. And I appreciate the Women's Federation for World Peace for giving me this confidence to being a woman and being such a great, it is such an honor to be born as a woman. And as we're talking about womanhood, we talk about breasts and all those reproductive system. And that is our topic today. Because as I said, these women in front of you are not just amazing. They are wonderful testimony of resilience and the difficulty of being a woman after giving birth. Then suddenly you now have to get sick and have to endure this medical situation. Look like what happened to Bernie. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, good. Because suddenly you were lost in the picture. But your recent hysterectomy.
Sure. Thank you so much for the opportunity that I could share my experience. Yes, cancer is a big name. If you're able to hear that from your doctor that, sorry, you have a cancer, the first thing that will come to your mind is, I think for me, is fear. Oh no, I'm going to die. Ito yung palaging attach sa label na ito, cancer. But that was 2 years ago. I was 48 years old and just basically felt the lump on my breast. And then I go straight to my primary care and ask him, hey, can you please send me to a referral for a mammogram? And then after mammogram, the person said, we need to send you to biopsy because there's something in there. And then after biopsy, they said, we need to operate you right there and there. And it was a crazy time. I think for me, you don't have a chance to really plan your life, okay, what we're going to do, because it's so quick. And the doctor said we have to schedule lumpectomy to remove your your cyst. And lumpectomy is so quick, it's easy. However, after lumpectomy, there are more. They found out that, okay, this is already scattered, it's bigger in size, we need a mastectomy. So, and then of course, your emotions getting a roller coaster of emotions, combination of what are you going to, how you're going to face this. But after we scheduled mastectomy, and my doctor said, "Okay, do you want only one side because it's only on my right side?" And I said, "What's the percentage that it will go somewhere else?" And then he said, "It will be high risk because I also been tested with BRCA positive, so it will mutate in a long run, it will just come out in a different place. And that's the reason why I decided to get both mastectomy, bilateral mastectomy. And then after a few months, BRCA positive, which is it's on my genes, so it is a high risk for cancer. The good thing for me is it is a stage one, so I don't need a chemotherapy. But the doctor issue a pills which is for estrogen suppressant. And he told me I need to take that for 5 years, and then after 5 years, maybe another 5 years. But the side effects for this is so deteriorating to my body. Being an active person, I always want to hike, I always want to do physical work, but that stopped my energy. I can't even stand up, and I'm very weak. All those hot flushes and the sign of menopause was very intense. So I decided to stop my medication. Of course, the doctor was not happy because he said, you know, Bernie, this is not a right decision that you are stopping medication. But I told them that, you know, I'm going to trust the process, that I'm going to enjoy the energy I have, and I'm going to do a natural way. So we'll discuss later what are my other things what I'm doing. But because I'm BRCA positive, the doctor recommended hysterectomy after a few months. I also have as well a reconstruction. So it's like 4 series of operations. And then the last one was hysterectomy because, you know, having breast cancer and the mutation, it will go down to my ovaries and uterus. So the doctor advised to complete uterus, and that was last year. I know
Wow.
I have a lot of stories, but I want to give
I
some of
know.
you time to
That's
share.
That's a
But
beautiful
thanks for
story.
asking.
thank you for your courage, Bernie. That's why when I have to undergo the hysterectomy, Bernie was the first person I have asked because Bernie is very open about her situation, medical issue, and really you always bring great strength to all of us women. You empower us by all the challenges that you have overcome, Bernie.
Oh, thank you. But getting ahead, I didn't know that Tita Amy had that experience as well. But Ria Luz is one of those. I know that, oh, she had removed her breast, so I have to call her and check on her. Yeah, it is really a matter of women who's helping each other and supporting each other to strengthen us. I
Yes.
think the one thing that made me stronger on those times is I realized that I'm not alone. There are other women who undergo and top in this kind of challenges. So that made me move forward and be positive, face my own challenge. And that is also women who experience the same as what we.
Thank you, Bernie. This is why we're bringing this story to life and to Buhay Buhay sa Amerika, because not everybody can actually discuss this topic, especially if you have not experienced it yourself. And it took me a while before I posted that I had gone surgery, but it took me a while before I can tell people directly what kind of surgery did I have. And it took me courage, and I'm glad that I met Tita Debbie and Tita Amy on a lunch date, And I found out they also have experienced this. So I said, please come join me on the show. And today, despite their very busy schedule, they came on the show. And Tita Amy initially declined because she has to go for some activity. And she changed her schedule just to be here because she said, I want to bring awareness to women. So Tita Debbie, the mic is yours. Tita Amy, let's have you first share your story, and you are another inspiration to us.
You know, I just would like to tell everybody that it's very important to me that I come. I would like to tell my story and the story of my family. Okay, I was diagnosed with breast cancer in 2000. You know what they say about good news, bad news? On that day, when I was diagnosed with breast cancer, I received also a good news. Okay, so we went out to dinner, you know, with my family, and I said, I have something to tell you. I said, well, I have something to tell you also. My son said, okay, what are you going to tell me? And then he said, my wife is pregnant. I'm going to give you the bad news. I have breast cancer. With breast cancer, it's not really very easy. When my doctor told me that I have breast cancer, I did not sleep that night, you know. Of course, I was thinking, oh my goodness, I said, I'm going to die. But anyway, they did a needle biopsy, and then the doctor said that it's positive for cancer. But it's stage 0. They were able to stage it right there. It was stage 0. And then the doctor recommended lumpectomy on my I forgot already which breast. My right breast, okay?
We're all right.
So he said, well, it was 24 years ago. So he said, no, you just have to have lumpectomy because you are stage 0. You know, you're going to be okay. I have to fight my surgeon. Really, I said, no, I don't want lumpectomy. I want mastectomy. Because he told me that if I'm going to have lumpectomy, I have to be on tamoxifen for 5 years. And also, I have to have radiation, a series of radiation. I forgot already how many times, but radiation and the tamoxifen. I said, no, you know what, doctor? I don't want to go through that. Just go ahead and do a mastectomy. And not only that, I want my other breast to be taken out too. You know, he really didn't want to do that. At that time, I decided also that I'm going to have reconstruction. So he prepared my breast when he operated on me for reconstruction. And then, lo and behold, the one who is going to do my reconstruction is going somewhere. So it was supposed to have been done all at the same time. But the one who is going to do the reconstruction had to go someplace. So he said, okay, you just wait. So I waited for my plastic surgeon to come. And then when I went to him, he said, you know what, it's too hot. Let's wait until September. So can you imagine 3 months I was waiting, you know, for the reconstruction? And I asked my husband, do I really need to have reconstruction? Is it that important to you? And my husband said, do whatever you want. But I don't regret it at all not having a reconstruction. So now, like what I said, that has been like about 24 years ago. I would like to tell something about my family, which is very equally important. In my family, there are 5 of us with breast cancer. My sister has breast cancer, and 3 nieces have breast cancer. They did a BRCA test on one of my nieces, and it was negative. And I would like to specifically tell you about my niece who is in the Philippines. Okay, she was not you stupid. I said anything, but anyway, 2 years. For 2 years, you know, he had that. So finally, my sister, who is now in the Philippines, who also had breast cancer, really insisted that he go to the doctor. Lo and behold, after doing the biopsy, she is already stage 3. Okay, what lessons are we going to draw from this? First, it's very important, ladies, women, to have mammogram. I did not have any symptoms. I did not have any lump. Okay? And every time I go for mammogram, I pray and pray, please let negative, negative, negative. So if I did not have that mammogram, I would not have found out that I had breast cancer. Okay, so very important, have a yearly mammogram.
Yes.
And also, I want you to draw a lesson from my niece. My niece, who is very intelligent and a nurse, ignored her symptoms. She went to the doctor, biopsied and everything. She is already stage 3, which means to say, before they cannot just do a mastectomy, they have to do a chemotherapy first to shrink the lump. So please, ladies, if you feel anything, mammography first, every year, do it. And also, if you feel anything, in your breast, do a self-breast something, please go to the doctor right away. Do not ignore it. Do not say that, it's nothing, it probably is this and that. It is something. If you feel something, do something.
Thank you so much, Tita. It's very important because I'm also I was a 0 stage, and it was from early detection that my breast cancer was found. And you were so right. If we women make it a point that breast self-examination is done monthly and your mammogram done yearly. Mm-hmm. And if you cannot do this mammogram, self-breast examination monthly, I told them during our lunch, have your husband do your self-examination
that's
every month right after your menstrual cycle. I'm sure, as I said, it will not only save your life, but it will save your marriage. Right, Tita?
Right.
You agree? So, Tita, tell us your story on your
mine
breast
is
cancer.
a more traumatic experience. I was very young. I'm going to go to tears again. Anyway, my youngest was only 13 years old. I was 41 years old. I don't know, every time I talk about my survival, I cry. Because I thought I was going to die. Anyway, one night I was taking a bath and I detected a lump. It was a very small lump. And I said, I didn't have any mammogram because I was still only 40. They do the mammograms usually at 50. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I felt something in my right breast. So I told my husband, Nelson, I said, can you feel it for me and see if I'm right? There's something in there. It's the size of a corn, I said, or even smaller than that. And she said, yes, there's something in there. And right away, his facial expression changed. It might be cancer, he said. So right away, he booked one of the surgeons to take a needle biopsy, Dr. Stanley Goldberg. That was 1983. It was in about the first week of October. And he said, I think I'd like a needle biopsy on my wife. So he did that, and he couldn't get any specimen at all. So the next time he said, we'll open her up and get a biopsy. So this was sent to the pathologists, and on that Friday, that was October 13, that's the Fatima Day, October 13, 1983, they did my surgery at Boswell Hospital with Dr. Stanley Goldberg. I stayed there for they gave me blood because I'm anemic. I have thalassemia. So they had to give me blood. And of course, there's another scare because that was the time when they had the hepatitis C scare then. But anyway, instead of staying there overnight or 2 days, I stayed there for more than 7 days. There were complications. I was shivering. So anyway, it was a traumatic experience for me, but I got over it. They got, I think, 7 or more than that of my lymph nodes, and they were declared negative.
Oh, thank
So
God.
I was referred to the oncologist, Dr. Barnett. She's also a Filipina. So she took care of me. She said, since you're in the 0 stage, I don't have to do anything. And that was still 1983. So I guess there was no use for tamoxifen or even radiation. She said, but we'll be on top of that. We'll have to see you every month and check on that. And after that 3 months, from 3 months to a yearly to 5 years, until they found that there was no metastasis in my body. He was a very good oncologist, and I really thanked her for taking care of me. But my husband was really also very supportive in the way that I have to get well. I had to recover and move on, because my life was just put on a stop. You know, I was bringing the kids every day to school, and I was going to do that. You know, so we took turns. And so I went on with my life. I prayed, but I still had to overcome, you know, my emotions, because I thought I was going to die too. But luckily, I was in the laboratory, she developed also breast cancer. And just like Amy's niece, she didn't want to have it operated on. I said, go on, please take it, until it became the size of the orange. Her name was Emma Kitty Kit. So I said, please take care of that. I said, you know, I had to make her aware that if it's too late, she's not going to be able to recover. Lo and behold, after 2 years, she died. I had to go there before she died. I said, why weren't you aware of that? I told you to take care of yourself. So I'd like to just tell our audience that I've let my children be aware of what's happening, if they're positive or what, if they want to take care of their mammograms. They have their mammograms now, because I'm also scared that it might also be genetic. My mother didn't have it. My father did not have cancer. I think there was one brother that had lymphoma, but I know that, I think, from my cousins and also from my aunts, I had about 3 of them in my family. So anyway, I think as women, we should be aware of this. We really should have our mammograms regularly, and possibly, maybe like you said, early detection. Even when you're taking a bath, the best way to detect it manually is either your husband does it or not. Go into the shower with soap. You can easily detect it. That's how I detected it.
With soap.
With soap, yes. So I'd like you to be aware. We'd like you to all be healthy. We don't want you to have this sickness that we had, because there are complications. And we'd like you to go on with your lives if you have had it. Cancer is always a scare. Just like they said, we're fearful of the big CA. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tita. That was very powerful story. And I hope that our audience will get inspiration to get your mammogram checked. As Women's Month, we celebrate our womanhood. And we need, just like a car, have your bodies checked and mammogram every year. And early detection is better than a late stage of cancer.
And do not ignore your symptoms.
Do not ignore your symptom, as Tita Amy mentioned. And I know that it is very scary that some women will wait and wait, because even just to think that you may have it is already scary. Much more when you were diagnosed with it. But I think God has given us this so then we can bring awareness to more people. Because I think these women here, and Bernie, when I had my breast cancer, I actually thought I had been more courageous. I said, I lost my breast, but I found my voice. But you know what? When the hysterectomy came, I actually lost my voice. It took me 3 months before I can tell it to the public about this story. That's why I'm glad that I have Bernie, Tita Amy, and Tita Debbie to be with me. This is like my tribe of women. As women, we really need to really take care of each other. Right, Bernie? Tita Debbie?
Right.
And I would
Correct.
like to
Yes,
add
of course.
one thing.
Yes.
So Tita Amy shared that she doesn't have reconstruction.
Yes.
So, which is a good thing. To be honest with you, I have reconstruction, and I can tell you that there's also side effects about it. Yeah, I might be telling myself, "Oh, I still look like I got my boobie," but the chest pain and the healing process, it takes a while, and I am no longer the good hiker 20 miles person. Now I just going to hike for 5 miles, and my breathing is not that normal, because of course there's something in your body that compressing your lungs. I think that's main thing that I observed. So if I could pick to go back on that kind of reconstruction, I think I'll go with no more of selling inside. I think for the future, those women who will go to this kind of question, if you are going to have a flat or reconstruction, you have to rethink, seek advice, and of course check if this is something that is for you. Because of healing, I'm still new and I can pass this kind of stage, but this is something that you have to think about if in case you will in the same scenario that I have.
Thank you, Bernie. That's a very good point that you have mentioned. If I also had reconstruction, and if I will be choosing now to have a reconstruction, maybe I will reconstruct getting my fats from my belly and not a silicone. But if you have to get a silicone or a saline reconstruction, just get fats from people who are willing to give you fats. Or better not, have nothing. Tita Amy, you were so
Right.
right.
Oh, I didn't have
to
reconstruction
have
either.
no reconstruction.
I didn't have reconstruction
And
either.
Bernie, thank you for bringing that out, because that's very like I have a size D. I'm always flat when I was young, and I was even teasing my friends, I'm going to get a big one that I can just do like this. But after 100 cc's of for the reconstruction, I said no, this is enough for me. But now you're right, Bernie. If we will be asked, should I have a reconstruction or not?
No.
Better not. There's plenty of brass that you make
Correct.
look like
Yes.
you have.
Prosthesis, yes.
And prosthesis. So thank you, Bernie, for that that you mentioned.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't have reconstruction.
Oh, you did not.
No.
Yeah.
I thought about it, but Nelson said you don't need any.
Wow.
Yeah, that is a very important point. You know, you have to consult you have
Your
to
husband.
have a
Ask your
communication
husband.
with your husband. Just briefly, I'm going to tell you. I have a friend, you know, who had
Reconstruction.
her breast removed, and the husband did not want the breast removed. Up to the end, they divorced.
Good for
Good
her.
riddance for him. Good
for her.
riddance.
Good for her.
We're so lucky. We have very good husband.
good
Yes.
husband.
Who
Very
actually did
Yes,
not
yes.
the only wish for our husband's only wish is our good
I think
health.
that was terrible,
Right?
you know, going to the
Yes.
operating room and
My
then telling you,
gosh.
Leave me one.
will you please leave me alone? You let me do what I want to do with my body.
That was really
Yes.
You know, that keeps on
I-
coming back to me.
I also remember
That's
one
so sad, you know.
one breast cancer was an aggressive one.
Oh.
And I thought that since the husband is the one so involved, I brought her some clothes after her mastectomy, thinking that she had two mastectomy. And I was surprised. It was like, you left one? And in my mind, like, oh my God. I hope she's doing well right now. But some husband could not
Yeah, they can
We're so
accept
lucky
it.
we have.
We are very
Yes.
lucky.
Oh,
We have a
We're
husband
very,
who.
very lucky.
And so thank you, Berlin, as well.
You're gonna be fine.
Yes.
Stage 1. My sister had a stage 2, Macbeth.
Yeah, I think.
And she's doing fine. She went
Yes.
through a lot, with chemo and everything.
Yes.
But
Wow, that's tough.
And
I'm happy that she survived that and
Yes.
she's doing okay.
Yes.
And actually, that's why I brought you, Tita Debbie and Tita Amy, because you give us hope.
Yeah.
And
That's right.
as many of you know, Tita Debbie and Tita Amy are fashion icon,
no, we're
ideal parents,
we're
ideal couples here in the
We're
valley.
not. We're
These are this is what we should emulate, right, Bernie?
Yeah.
So
Exactly. Honestly, we really look up to you women who are ahead of us, especially with the history ng cancer. For me, nung nagkaroon ako ng cancer, I told, how many more years? 5, 10,
Correct.
and that's it. But hearing from you guys that you are still here and full of life, that's give us a lot of hope and encouragement. That we
Definitely
could still
so.
be empower other women and reach out. God is still have a lot of things
Oh,
stored
yes.
for us, and thank you for that.
yes, and that is why I brought this two women of wisdom.
Oh,
thank you.
Oh, I would say 3 women of wisdom, Bernie.
Yeah.
4 women of wisdom.
All bosom friends.
Yeah. We're pink sisters.
Yeah.
And Bernie, I know you are doing so much, not only in your hiking. At this time, what your that? To give us
Is
more
that
hope.
business or related to? Okay, so with related to my cancer, I'm still on the transition, healing, and I went to my doctor 2 weeks ago, and he was not happy that I stopped his medication. But for me to heal on my own, I moved to a natural way of healing. So physically, I'm doing fasting. I know that if your cancer cell, like estrogen, is feeding our cancer cell, if I believe that I starve my cancer cells, they will die naturally. So I try to eat healthy as much as possible. In one meal, I complete all the nutrients that I need my body. And of course, after my operations last year, I start gaining the excessive weight because I become inactive, and now I'm trying to lose all those excess weight. But like what you said, I'm very active physically and mentally. So when I had that operation, I went to school. On my recovery time, I studied at home online, and then I went to establish another business of ours. Like Tita Amy, they have rentals, so that's what we are part of what we're doing. We flip homes, and after flipping homes, we sell it. I know the market is not so good, but this is my passion. I'm skills. He gave me wisdom to produce, and we are here in America, which is the opportunity is available. That's why I jump in to other ways of getting producing income to household, and in the future as well helping others. I shared to Miss Ria last time the reason I was able to go to school. I came from poor provincial kid from big family, but the reason why able to go to engineering school is someone from America became my benefactor, sending me my tuition to go to Mapua Institute of Technology.
Wow.
Can you imagine? I don't even have a fare from my Batangas to Manila just to go to school. My mother cannot even provide. But hey, at that time, I have a hat. I was a boyish, so I have a hat, and I went to a tomato vendor and I asked him, "Can you buy my hat so I have a fare?" But that's the day where I make a decision that, hey, God has a plan. I'm here. Someone helped me to go to school, and I want to repay that goodness. And God gave me the opportunity to be here America. I'm still alive, and that is the time that we're able to rethink of my life when I had a cancer. God
Scholarship. And Buhay Buhay sa America, that is our goal of bringing educational scholarship through our, we are not a foundation yet, but we have done many projects in our community that had been supporting scholarship foundation. Sending to school, and yeah, so I hope that those of you will be inspired. Help us to make Buhay Buhay sa America, to have more projects to help others, and I hope that this episode inspired you. You're missing them, so before the show ends, I wanted to promote our upcoming events. Javier, help me to share with our audience our upcoming event. This March 18th, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., there is the Philippine American Chamber of Commerce of Arizona and GovTech Global announcing the visit of the Datamatic and Quality Management Solution, seeking to provide services to skilled nursing facilities and medical offices and even hospitals. These are from Philippines companies here. Thank you so much, Javier. Join us. And also the Pilam Leos Cotillon, this beautiful lady. How many of them?
I have two, and
I have three.
So 4, 6, 10. 10 beautiful ladies going to have their
have that,
cotillon. So, Tita Debbie, this will be on March 23rd.
Yeah, but she's
For details, and ticket is only $50. And another one is save the date for Philippine American Nurses Association of Arizona's election of officers and induction of their officers and members on May 18 at the St. Paul Catholic Church Hall. So save the date and contact President Riza Dicella. Another one is the Mr. and Miss Teen Arizona 2024. The Philippine Independence Day celebrates the Mr. and Miss Teen Philippines, and they're looking for candidates. And if you are 18 to 19, a Filipino descent, resident of Arizona, and must have talent, poise, and charming personality. Hope that you can join this event on June. I believe the event is on June 8th and the coronation is on July 27. Thank you so much, Javier. And today, Women's Federation for World Peace, if you can share the March 30th event, get your ticket. This is just the media press conference and much more if it is the day of the event. And as I said, thanks to the Women's Federation for World Peace, our sponsor of today's show. I am very proud to be a member of the Women's Federation for World Peace. If you can check the link, WFWP, yeah, that's the website, and join us and be a member of the Women's Federation for World Peace. This is an organization that is not only serving the women, but will serve the world and really create a world of peace. If all women of the world will come together and support one another, this world will truly be a peaceful one. Don't you think so?
yes, of course.
And
Yes.
of course, there's another one coming up, Cursos de Negocios for all Spanish in the East Valley. This is a class in Spanish. So for those of you who are Spanish speaking, who are in the East Valley, especially in Chandler, contact the DAS Foundation. And this is in cooperation with Entre Mujeres. The Entre Mujeres Radio just had their International Women's Day at beautiful, the Pink Door.
Oh yes.
And
Glendale,
it's owned by Lupe Encinas, who is actually a great woman leader. And I just heard that Lupe is running also for the city of Glendale. And as we have many women in power, women now going to be in politics, she's running for re-election for the Council of Chandler. And my sister Shantae Salisbury, one of our co-chair, she's running for state representative. If you are in East Valley, Gilbert and Chandler, let's support her and put her in the office. Also, another is running also. She's Hernanin Hernandez. She is running for the peace. Justice of the Peace here in Phoenix.
Okay.
She
She's
is
a lawyer.
yes, and she's half Filipina, and we really support all our community politicians, especially Ryan Winkle, ang ating mayor of Mesa. He's running for mayor of Mesa. He's not a woman, but he loves to support women. Thank you so much. So our upcoming events is a long programs we have in Arizona. Bernie, you must be missing Arizona from all these events.
Yep, we miss everything about Arizona, especially our friends.
Come visit us.
Yes. So from our, do you have any other?
Regards to Berlin, I'd like
About-
just to note
right.
that we have a very good keynote speaker for the cotillion. I don't have her name, but she is a boxer. She's what is her name?
I just remember the last name. It's REID.
Yeah, but she's half Filipina, and she's a relative of the Ebalos in Zambales.
Nice.
So we're looking forward we're looking forward to meeting her because apparently she's a very good speaker.
Yeah.
The Filipina one.
Oh yes, there's so much power within our femininity, and that's one thing we have to embrace. Who we are as women. We're so lucky to be born as a woman. Even though we don't have the breasts and our reproductive organs, we are still women.